Cole Weber, welcome back to Beyond the Basement. Something
Beyond
a little
the basement. Mm-hmm. Beyond the basement.
In Walter Hall's underneath underground, and we are now home.
Yeah, two separate homes, two different rooms.
Two different rooms. We're away from each other, one city away, and we have missed what we were doing, and we're pulling it back after many failed attempts to reconvene. Didn't get out of the chat for.
It was in the chat for a while.
It was in there. Months probably. Like it's been a long since we were playing basketball back at Pacific randomly.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that long.
I mean, the miracles of technology. We're here finally.
Yeah, and I'm excited. We've been very excited. We had a little test run last night that went okay. Actually, went all right. The internet hopefully is going to hold up for us tonight, but we're
Cross
here.
Those fingers.
We're actually live. Technically right now.
Yeah, a minute in live.
We're just trying to figure out how to use this thing, and we're going as we go. Shout out StreamYard. Shout out
StreamYard, right? I think there. The duck with the headphones, man. Yeah, man. No, we missed. I mean, the last thing we did was like May of last year, so it's been a good 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
We missed so many things. We missed the Celtics winning a championship. And then Tatum tore his Achilles, and we just missed the Thunder. My Thunder winning a championship. And a lot of stuff has happened in the world of sports, but
even in just the last month
you're right.
Recently.
And they didn't put it on hold for us. I mean, we asked them to, but they didn't.
No. But
now we're back, and it's okay. We're back.
And we're just going to hop right into the realm of the sports world as we do. Like he said, we've missed a lot, but there's been a lot recently that's going on. And I think we're going to probably kick it off with some hoops. Is that right?
Absolutely. I mean, the NBA is just winding down right now. Just after a roller coaster, it's just a sprint to the end. And it's not even, it's like, it was like an 800 meter sprint at the end. You go playoffs, finals, 2 days after that's the draft, 3 days after that's free agency. All right there.
Insane. Like it's all over. It's like
almost Summer League, and Summer League is just starting right now too. So it's just all boom.
It's almost exhausting in the best way. It's after like a crazy workout and like you're in bed and you're like, that sucked, but man, I loved it. I'm gonna sleep like a baby.
I mean, if you love NBA content, if this is what you live for, then you love it. So it's part of what I live for. So
I agree. The amount of screenshots I have on my phone from just like Bleacher Report alerts that I've just sent.
You sent me like last week, just free agency, dude. How about this? What is this? Yeah, bunch of them, all over the place.
One of my buddies was saying that I was dropping bro bombs. I was like,
we're in the absence. We're in the absence of the Woj bombs. What do we call a Shams?
It's not pronounced right, but calling them Sham Wows. I saw that somewhere. If you remember those little like towel things.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm on board. I like Woj bomb, man.
A sham lamb? I don't know.
A sham.
Does it work? Doesn't work.
I don't know.
But he's doing his job right. He's doing it fine. I mean, there's a lot going on. Like
just you love the NBA. The vibe of a Woj bomb is a little different.
Yeah.
Where's he at? You remember where? Because he's like the GM of wherever he went to school.
I think
St. Bonaventure, right?
St. Bonaventure, yeah. I still have his Twitter notifications on from when he was Woj bombing, and so now I just get a bunch of St. Bonaventure stuff on my phone.
I get that stuff too. Like, I'll be like, who signed? It's like they're this last cycle, and Rashid, it's like Rashid Johnson. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Why do I care he's going to St. Bonnie's? And I keep, and then second slide, it's Woj taking a picture with him. Like, okay.
And I just remember when he like went to that job, I was like, a GM for a basketball, like college basketball. Like, what is that?
I know.
And now it's like a thing in sports.
Yeah. Shaq is at Sac State. Trae Young, Oklahoma.
Is it Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan?
Yes. Steph Curry, Davidson. Those are the ones that come to mind like immediately. It's Blake Griffin. No, not Blake Griffin. But yeah, like Shaq at Sac State is kind of weird because Mike Bibby's their head coach now.
Yeah, kind of.
He was just like, let's get Shaq to come in, and Shaq went to LSU.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, like all right.
Yeah, what are we doing?
College sports, that's a whole. So much has happened there too, and we don't even have that on the docket today.
No, that's the conversation for another time. We're kind of in the right before, like, hey, first off, how about college basketball, the video game coming back?
Oh my god,
we do got to bring that one up.
Yeah, well, tomorrow NCAA 26 comes out. I'm pretty sure.
I just ordered it today.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. I think tomorrow, maybe the next day.
I think the deluxe might have come out today or yesterday already, and then just the normal version is 2 days maybe from now.
Yeah, I'm hyped to put college basketball. It's going to be like years away, and I heard EA's making one, and 2K is also going to try to make one.
There's going to be two.
Yeah, what I think I read, and that's good because that means that they have to try.
Yeah, competition.
We're not getting just reskin. Like you got to
Yeah, it's like live golf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. DJ got to lock in.
It's like the ABA.
Exactly.
The 3-point line came out of that. The dunk contest came out of that.
It's copycat. I guess copycat leagues copy each other.
Yeah, man. Jackie Moon came out of there. Coffee Black.
Ball knowledge right here.
Some great names.
Yeah, great names.
We wouldn't have had half of the NBA Halloween costumes without the ABA. And
no, true.
Yeah.
True, actually, that is true.
Yeah, Klay Thompson's done it like 6 straight years.
Incredible. It's incredible. But yeah, let's round into what we wanted to talk about specifically basketball wise.
Mm-hmm.
The finals and just this whole playoff run. I feel like the way that this playoff run was talked, at least amongst my friends, was this is one of the best we've had in a long time. Like just a lot of, the Pacers run in general was kind of crazy. Like no one really was talking about them before. The West is just a slaughterhouse of just killers left and right. And every game was great to watch. Like New York basketball is like back, and that's just like is always enticing. Like Madison Square Garden being lit up. There's nothing better. But where do you even want to start?
I think, we could just boil it down to the two teams who really just took control of the play. It was, if not for Oklahoma City and what they did, like we would have been talking about this Indiana run it might have been the best run ever. I don't think anybody comes to mind off the top of my head in the NBA best playoff run ever. Like maybe the 03-04 Pistons.
Well, like the Dirk.
Dallas. But they had Dirk. Dirk he was a top 10 guy.
Yeah, true.
This team doesn't have a top 10 dude.
No.
And how now after this, Halliburton's right there. But yeah, this team is different than any team that we've ever seen. Just the Grim Reaper going through.
Ugh.
And then in every series, it was like, well, we thought they were going to beat Milwaukee, the shell of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Giannis
no game there.
Yeah, Giannis and 4 ghosts couldn't do it. And then everybody thought they would lose to Cleveland, and they killed Cleveland.
Yeah, like kind of beat them up.
And Cleveland had the best record in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm. So you knock off the 1 seed, and then it's like, huh?
Yeah, and then the Knicks series, and everybody's like, all right, this one's gonna be. And I was watching game 1 of that series, them coming back, Aaron Nesmith turning into Coffee Black.
Yeah.
Made everything. And then the shot by Halliburton. And that turned that series around. Because, yeah, that team was wild. And then nobody gave them a chance against Oklahoma City. And they did the same thing. Game 1, I was watching. I had it on my computer. I was playing 2K. I'm like, let's watch the Thunder blow out the Pacers. And in the fourth quarter, I'm like, they haven't pulled away yet. And they're just chipping away. And then Shea misses that shot. And I'm like, they're not really going to do this, right? And then Hallie hits one. Little pull up over Case and Wallace. And my heart skipped a beat. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They won game 1. And then it was an awesome series. But the Thunder, 2025 champs.
Yep. Yeah, incredible run for them. Those 2 shots that you said, the missed pull-up from SGA and the buzzer beater, only 2 shots I saw of that game. because I had to
Really?
I had to coach a game that day, and I got in my car, turned it on, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're up one," and then missed the midi, and I was like, "What is?" And then he hit it. I was just in my car at hell high, just like, "What is happening?" After that, I was like, "I have to believe. Like, you have to believe." And his like percentage on game winners or like shots in
it's
the
crazy,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then it's a shame how the finals did end. It really was, because genuinely, like, for one, on my birthday, Game 7 was on my birthday, and I was like, "Is like, what could you ask for anything more than Game 7 on your birthday?"
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing you would ask for the least happened. Potentially the worst possible outcome for the best game that you could ask for in sports. I mean, Game 7 in the championship. And as soon as he went down, I was like, that looked exactly like Dame. Exactly.
And Tatum.
Like Tatum. Why do they all wear 0 also? A weird thing.
That was kind of strange. Most Achilles tears in a season in NBA history.
Do you think it's AAU ball? Too much playing?
Too much, what's the word? Specialization?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's definitely one of the – that's a hypothesis for sure. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, why weren't the dudes in the early 80s tearing their Achilles like this? They were doing coke and smoking cigars after games.
Yeah.
Like,
not these guys. Yeah. These guys have trainers and like nutritionists and like literally
best shape. These are the best athletes ever, and they're just going down. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. That was tough, and remembering this series and this playoff runs in this season, that's probably gonna come to mind first.
Which sucks because there were so many highlights throughout
because the Thunder season was so special. They just dominated everybody.
Well, crazy MVP race between two like the best players we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Like the Knicks Celtics series was great, like just Boston New York rivalry at its finest. And then but that ended in a rough way again.
Yeah, but the Knicks had them. Like that game was over. They were about to go up 3-1.
He was going off though. Tatum was like living
he was trying. Yeah.
He was rising to the occasion, and like who knows what could have happened in the end that game, obviously, but crazy.
They blew. I've never seen a team blow. Game 1 and 2 is basically the same game. They're up 20 in the third quarter in both, and they're just chucking threes, playing Missoula ball.
Yeah.
And they lose them both. Mm-hmm. And it's like, because Game 1 you're like, all right, Knicks get their one, and then Game 2 you're like, and it was like,
it blew me away.
So what do we got going on here? And then Tatum goes down, and you're like, wow, they really. Because nobody gave them a shot. Nobody gave them a shot to beat the Celtics. The Celtics had killed them all year.
Mm-hmm. One of my buddies who's a big Knicks fan, he was like, yeah, like great first round win, like, but I'm not that confident going into this Celtics series. And I was like, not very Knicks fan of you to sound like this, but he was like, I'm putting my bias aside. Boston's a great team. I'm like, okay, like I agree with you, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't. And that gave us a Pacers Thunder final in the end.
Yep.
And my boy Shea and Lou against Dort, man, the Dortcher chamber.
Yeah,
J-Dub. Dude, those guys, the Bald Eagle.
Oh yeah.
My brother team, Isaiah Hartenstein too.
Shout out. That team it's incredible. Like no free agents, like they don't have to do anything really.
No, all they did was they just re-signed SGA. That was it. Just gave them the biggest extension in NBA history.
Business done.
Imagine $75 million a year. That's wild.
And it's just going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger.
His was like 72, I think. And I think Devin Booker's eligible for 75 for 2 years. It's like
insane.
It's a good amount of money.
Do you see Jokic turn down, or that he's saying he's not going to sign?
Yeah, I was looking through. I looked at that and I was like, "That's interesting." And then I looked more into it, and it's because he can make more money if he signs next year.
Okay, interesting.
It's like if he's eligible for an extension now, but if he waits another year, the extension gets bigger. Or something like that.
You probably
do that. Yeah, it was like in the comments, and they were like, "Stop trying to push this agenda, trying to spout for clicks.
Yeah.
This is why. And it's like, okay.
Well, I mean,
Because I didn't see it anywhere else. It popped up on it was some weird account.
My buddy sent me maybe the same one from like a weird account, and it was like not signing the extension. And I was going to read it, and then he sent me a message, and it's kind of an interesting point. He's like, I think he's going to retire, and I was like, that's odd.
They just had the best offseason they've had since he's been there.
Yeah, I agree. I do see him as the guy that retires early, though. I wouldn't put it past him.
I think it's all a front.
You think
he's
so?
like, oh, I don't care. When's the parade?
I think he cares. I do think he cares. I don't think
he's so competitive, man.
He is.
He's so
with
competitive.
His horse racing.
Dude, these dudes, he's played basketball his whole life. You're gonna tell me that at 35, he's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm done. I'll go race my horses.
Maybe at 35, but not 30, 31, 32 when the contract ends.
He's 30 right now, isn't he?
30 right now, yeah.
I think he can
and probably will play till he's 38 because
he can because his game translates. Like,
yeah,
it's not athleticism. I'll tell you that.
No, and like he won't lose the non-athleticism he has.
He's not going to get smaller.
He's an athlete at 38, like cool.
Yeah,
but it's not going to happen. So he could play forever. But out of all like the superstars in the league that retire early, the only one with a hint of it.
What about Kawhi?
Kawhi is the next one, and I already think he's older than him already. He's already at
34.
The time. Yeah, he's already like, if he retired at 36, we will never hear from him again. By the way, like he's the guy when he retires.
Well, I don't know. I don't think we will from Jokic either.
No,
neither of those dudes. Mm-hmm. It'll just be like, oh, Jokic spotted at horse race in the Czech Republic or something.
Yeah, yep.
In Bosnia, Herzegovina.
Those are the two people I think of that retire. Like no one thought Calvin Johnson would retire like that. Like he just did. Obviously, he had his like concussions and stuff, but
right. But that was a guy who had no success and was just getting beat up. At least
true.
Both those dudes are champions.
Rings that can maybe build on it. And obviously, I don't think it's going to happen. But I just think out of all the players that could do it. In terms of superstar level guys, young guys retire all the time that aren't playing. Yeah, but that good. Like SGA is not going anywhere. Like LeBron's still here. Like all these guys they're going to play. And again, I don't think he doesn't love basketball. I think he does. Like the parade thing, like you said. But
it was like, when's parade? Oh, he goes, I want to go home.
That seemed genuine. But like, if you have,
I get.
How do you walk away? Like. They had a great offseason. Like Cam, the Johnson pickup was great. Is it Valanciunas who they're trying to convince to stay? I thought was great.
The report was offered $12 million a year from some team in Greece, which is a good amount of money. But also, like, do you want to win the championship? Valanciunas don't got a ring. Like, you want to go be obscure in Greece and make 12. He's making his salary's like 8, I think, with the Nuggets. It's like, oh yeah, he goes 50% increase in salary, but
you probably play way less, you travel way less.
Yeah, and you get to play for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
It would be weird. Yeah, I've heard that they're trying to make him stay. Him stay.
Well, if they don't cancel the contract, he has to, unless he retires.
Yeah.
But then like if you I don't know how that works because they just have your rights for I don't know.
It would be like it's like a Bradley Beal situation right now. Guy who just because I'm good with. Well, it's the opposite. They want him gone, and he just wants to be there. He's got a no trade clause. He goes, I'm making good. 55 mil, man, and I'm just gonna get that unless you release me. I guess I'm gonna try on defense. Yeah, I'm not going to try on defense. I'm not going to adapt. I'm live in Phoenix and make my money.
Yep. Yeah,
Brad Beal.
He might be a Clipper. He might be with Kawhi. And then maybe he does retire early because of that. Yeah,
that would be. Yeah, how about this? We get it on all those. Let's go shout out the Thunder for the win. Let's go draft first because that came first in chronological order. But that led up to everything that we were just talking about.
Electric draft, I feel like.
Yeah. What was I doing? I didn't get to watch it live. Oh, I was calling a game. I was calling a baseball game.
Yes.
and I was checking in on it like during the call. But yeah, was that a week ago?
It was 3 days
Wednesday.
after the finals, so it was more than that.
Wait, no, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, yeah. Cooper Flagg, number 1 overall. Shocker to everybody.
I mean, it's the Mavericks. I mean, you never know. They could still trade.
They trade it for Luka. They trade it back.
Actually, here we go.
We'd like a redo on that one.
Yeah. That one was clear as day. Don't even really have to talk about it.
Even number 2 was after we realized that the Spurs weren't trading for KD and then Giannis wasn't getting moved. It was like, all right, we're gonna go with Dylan Harper, who's by far and away the number 2 guy. It was like Cooper, and then big drop Dylan, and then big drop everybody else. But
for a while, everyone thought it was going to be for sure Cooper, Harper, and Bailey. But then the whole
but he's a very interesting dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole thing around the whole pre-draft process with him, and then did you know because his agent? You remember Sharif Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
It was Sharif Cooper's dad. Is his agent?
Okay.
And they were like just making appointments with teams and then canceling them like day before. It's like, yeah, Daryl Morey's calling from the Sixers. Right. It's like, hey, we good for Friday at 3? And they go, yeah. And then Thursday, yeah, we're not coming. Okay. Because I think he was trying to push his way to Washington or Brooklyn. He was trying to get out of the top 5. And he almost did. He got to 5.
You're just losing millions of dollars, bro, when you're doing that too, which is crazy.
They were like, oh, he really wants a runway to become a superstar. He wants to have the ball. It's like, it's just the thought process behind it all. And then there was like, he didn't interview real good.
Mm-mm. He is 18. We got to.
Oh yeah. No.
He's a senior in high school.
Right.
Just graduated.
Right.
I mean, he went to college, obviously, but like he's 18. That's like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and he's super, super talented.
Mm-hmm.
What did he have last night? Him and Bryce Sensabaugh combined for 55, right?
Yeah, but I think he had like 18 or something like that.
Oh, so Bryce had 37?
Yeah, Bryce had a 30 piece.
Yeah. And then another big thing with Ace was coming in, at Rutgers, they were like, oh, yeah, he's 6'10", 6'11". And then Combine, they measure him because they do the measurement without shoes now, which I feel like we're doing it without shoes now. We didn't used to do it without shoes. So now it's in NBA history, it's like the scale is not the same.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, because he got measured at 6'7". It was like 6'7.5". And then that just made his stock drop. They're like, oh, he's really just a normal sized forward. Yeah. But he looked big. Watching those highlights yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's very long. He's long.
Pause.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's the prototype that I love, that you want to hit their like peak, because then it's just like an offensive demigod who just is like,
and everybody in that build is going to get the Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Ingram got it when he was like giving the league. Vic is his own animal, actually. When everyone was like he could be like the next KD.
That was weird. They were reaching for that. They were like, yeah, he's KD, but 7'5".
It's like he's way different.
I think KD's just KD. Like I can't. There's the only dude. There's only one dude that I could think of in NBA history that like the comp is like is there a little bit, and I think that's T-Mac.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Orlando T-Mac, prime T-Mac. Just two dudes who were, for their size, just basically guards.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot it, super athletic, long handle. Yeah, those two dudes. And then, everybody else who's got the comp. Like, I think the Ace Bailey, Brandon Ingram comp, that's a better comp, I feel like.
Yeah, similar, like, I feel like style of play.
Yeah.
A little small, like, skinny, but long.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and like that's why I love Derek Queen. Like also like
Yeah.
his like obviously like defense is what matters in the league now, but like imagining a Derek Queen that like hits his 100% like peak of what he could be is just like it's just I don't know what that would be as an NBA player. Like when he hit that buzzer beater, like the little
That was sick.
like and it's like you got something there.
To
You
beat
got
Colorado State, yep.
To have the handle that he has as a center, like he's a center. Like it's fascinating. It's not a build that we've really seen. Like I mean, you've seen center, but he's a big center. That like if Jokic was kind of like getting shifty left and right, we'd be like all right, like that's Derek Queen, and that is exciting to me. And I just hope, which we'll talk about our favorites in a bit, but like,
well, yeah, that's a great jumping off point for it because let's just do that. What was your favorite pick of the draft?
Okay, yeah. So I really, and it's if he was drafted to a different team, I wrote it down. I really like Nick Clifford from Colorado.
Yeah,
really like
the guy who lost in the game in the buzzer beater.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. I'm a big fan of his. I feel like he's a little older, but I feel like his game is going to translate so well to the league. He's big. He was like second in the nation or in his conference in defensive rebounds as like a 3. And like, I think he was really high on the offensive rebound rate because he just goes and gets his own. Like he goes and gets that. And that's like a motor you can't teach. Can shoot, dribble, drive, like can pass good enough. And has played a lot of basketball. And originally he was drafted by the Thunder. And I was like, oh, of course. But that pick was then owned to the Kings. And like, just the Kings itself is just like tough in general. Like, I don't know how he's like, there's so many wings there that play. Right. But really like him. But if it wasn't like my second, my 2A, because like I'm not a fan of the Kings fit, is Thomas Sorber to the Thunder. That is just like, to me, it's like they're just going to let Hartenstein walk at his next contract, and then he's just going to fill it in. And that's what they're going to do with all these picks they have. These players are just going to walk out, and they're just going to hit on their pick, and the next guy's going to step in. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be like 3 guys that stick. It's going to be probably, 4 guys, probably J-Dub, Chet, SGA, and Lou Dort are like the 4 you want to keep the most out of your core. And that's going to be hard to do. But everyone else, you can just let the door revolve. So Sorber and Clifford are my 2. Sorry for the long go.
No, you're good. And then there was a lot of things that the first thing that popped in mind was the Lou Dort thing, because there's a lot of, just because the salary cap, like going forward, you just can't have a bunch of dudes who make a lot of money. Mm-mm. And there was a lot of smoke. They were like, all right, what are the Thunder going to do to try to get cheaper? And it was trade Lou Dort because they have Case and Wallace and replace him. And I was like, okay, I could see that. And then the playoffs happened and the finals happened. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Lou Dort's one of my favorite players. Mm-hmm. Lou Dort is, you don't just move that guy. Like that dude it's just a one-man culture right there.
Yeah.
It's a linebacker.
Literally.
Just, you don't just get rid of Lou Dort. Like that dude he's been there the whole time. Him and SGA are the 2 longest tenured Thunder. Mm-hmm. I love me some Lou Gentz. But you're right. Like the Sorber, like he's just that's got to be their plan. If they want to stay cheap, you can't be paying Hartenstein's like your 7th guy.
Yeah.
He can't be making $28 million a year. So Sorber coming in on a rookie deal. Yeah, I like that pick. I really like the Nick Clifford pick. Yeah, right when I was watching the baseball game, looking at the draft, I'm like, oh, Thunder get Nick Clifford. That's cool, because they don't show the trade on ESPN for some. Then after I learned he goes to the Kings, I'm like, okay. I mean, good for the Kings. I like that guy. My favorite pick, though, obviously, I mean, Flag and Harper, I don't give them credit.
I didn't want to pick out of those ones.
Yeah, they don't
great, but
yeah, I'm gonna go number 18, Walter Clayton Jr.
Oh my God, that was like one of my almost one. Oh yeah, love that.
Yep. Love that. Maybe he was probably a top 5 college basketball player this year. One of the best player on the national championship winning team.
It was so fun to watch.
Yep. So good. And I just liked it because we're rewarding really good college basketball players who are he's on the older side, but it felt like for the last 10, 15 years, it's like, oh yeah, these really good dudes, they won't translate, so we're not taking them, and they're older. Like think about Drew Timmy, Gonzaga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he got drafted.
He was playing for
he's still in the league. He's in the G League.
He was he like got called up and was playing an NBA game, and then every time he scored, the arena would play the Timmy, and that's what they're doing for him. And I was like, all right, good for him. Like he's one of the guys, like you said, that don't usually get their run.
No, because it's these guys who they're too old, they don't have room to grow, but they're obviously really good basketball players. And I just liked it because Walter Clayton Jr. is a really good basketball player, and good on the Jazz. Now the Jazz have 17,000 guards on their team. He might be older than every guy they've drafted the last 3 years. But he's probably better. He's probably better right now.
I mean, watching him and Ace Bailey just shot chuck is going to be the best thing ever.
Like, he's dude. He does not care. He does not care. He's
taking that three, and if you're smothering me, I'm just going to fade a little bit harder away, and I'm just going to get it up, and it's going to go in probably.
Yeah, he takes some ballsy shots for sure. But that would be my favorite one. I also like Yakachunas to the Heat at 20, the Illinois guard.
I thought he was going way higher.
Everybody, he was projected top 10 for a long time, and just slowly fell.
You always wonder, something must have been seen in an interview or like physical, like I don't know, like what I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what could happen? I've obviously never sat in one of those meeting rooms while it was happening, but like, what are they asking? And I wonder what those questions are like. Like, are they just throwing some wild stuff at them? And
very curious.
What are you like? Give them an insane scenario. What are you gonna do? Because you're at a corner late at night. It's 1:30 in the morning. Red light on the corner. There's two dudes and an old lady, and they're mugging her. What do you do in that situation? What are you gonna do, Yakachunas? And you think those are the type of questions that they're gonna ask?
Like, I just want to go home and go to bed. We just had practice, and be like, "Good, that's the answer we want to hear." You don't have time for.
All right, we're not taking you. You're falling.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. I think I was actually going to bring him up later in the next talking about, but continue.
Those were probably my two of the later picks. Those are my favorite. What about your least favorite pick, Xander, bro?
I just wrote down Nets, and I don't think that Igor is going to be a bad player. I don't. Like, I really think that that's like fine pick, but like,
yeah.
We can agree that the Nets are somehow like finally at like rebuild like the core of it. Like, it's like now it's time to like see the vision, because it's just been Cam Thomas playing ISO. Love to watch him play, but just Cam Thomas hooping and then just kind of figuring out the rest. Like, Nick Claxton's great, but he's probably should be moved next. I just think that players with higher ceilings were available, like a Noah Essenge. Like, I really thought that like that type of build is something the Nets should go for, or even like we were talking about Yaka. I don't want to say his name wrong, but KJ from Illinois. Yeah. Like, I feel like at the time, like he was dropping, and we were all like, "What's happening?" Is a better pick, or even Mollywalk from Duke. I feel like that's the perfect time for you to trade Claxton maybe and take that center there.
Yep.
But I Igor, like, I think that's a fine pick. I think I'm more against which one was it? Sorry, I'm pulling it up here.
Traore. There's Traore.
They had four somehow.
They had five. They took 5 guys in the first round. You don't have enough spots on your roster for all these dudes.
I think it was Drake Powell was the other one that was traded to them from the Hawks. Like,
he was North Carolina, right?
Yeah, and he averaged like 8 and like didn't shoot well. Like,
he didn't start.
Yeah, and it's like I just feel like we should be taking swings, like big swings on these. And maybe they think his ceiling's really high.
Maybe that is a big swing.
Yeah, there were just guys after that, like Nick Clifford. He's older though. Actually, never mind. Let me settle down a little.
I think the Nets suck, and I think. Yeah, they're in like year 3. When did they trade Durant? In 2022?
I think so. And then it was Mikal that really is once they send him off to New York.
Yeah, because they had that half year of, oh man, Mikal Bridges, this team is kind of funky and fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then the next year it wasn't at all.
No.
And so really, I think it's like year 2, and they have nobody. Who do they like?
Nick Claxton. That's got to be it.
But they're definitely getting rid of him in the next year and a half.
Yeah, and then they don't have like another big. Like I feel like going like
they took Danny Wolf.
Yes, now they do, which that's a very interesting prospect. Like out of all of them, that one might be the most fascinating to me that they have. Like
I liked him the most out of those guys.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fun. Like he's a stretch big that can like move the ball past a little bit.
He's just a point guard, but a big.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is. It's wild.
And
there's no comp for him. There's really no comp for him. It's like
no, because he's really tall too. Like he's
it's like Jokic. It's like a Jokic, but not. The play style is different, but it's like point center, but also kind of a spot up. It's weird. It's just a really weird guy. That's why I thought he was fun.
Maybe you're seeing Igor, who's a great passer as well, and you're just trying to build a team with some great like just passing chemistry, move the ball around. Again, Igor can be he like I don't know. I was seeing comps of like Giddy type players, and it's a very fascinating player that you have. Who I think can be good, but for what you're looking for, like I feel like you're really trying to, you're at 0. Like you're finally there, and I just don't know if he was the guy to pick, but I think he's going to be good. So it's like a weird thing for me to say. It just didn't feel good about it.
Yeah, least favorite pick, whole Nets draft.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you mine. First, shout out Big Dre in the chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nice. I was seeing some eyes pop up. Let's go.
He says, keep up the good work. I think he's probably talking to you.
Let's go. Hell yeah. Thanks, Big Dre.
Yeah. My least favorite pick, and you're going to find this interesting, and it's not because of the player. And you were talking about him. So Derek Queen, I like Derek Queen a lot. I think he's fun. How they got Derek Queen?
Oh,
the Pelicans?
Not good. Not fun.
That's no. Like, and I'll break it down for him. First off, the Pelicans themselves, Derek Queen and Zion Williamson pretty much do the same thing. They play pretty much the same position.
Oh, we're good. We're good. I was giving you that.
I was like, yeah,
giving you that limelight for a second.
I was like, where did he go? They play the same. They do the same thing. So it's like, all right, we can't play both these guys together because even though I do like Derek Queen, he's not a defensive dude.
Yeah,
at all.
I agree. I think the fit there is not great, but
I like him as a player.
Mm-hmm.
But they took Jeremiah Fears at 7 with their first round pick, and they traded up from 23 with the Hawks to take Derek Queen, which you're like, oh, I mean, yeah, they had to move up. He was going to be gone before he got there. But they gave up a first round pick next year, which is going to be the best of their first round pick and the Milwaukee Bucks first round pick. Pelicans aren't going to be good. They don't make the playoffs, and the West is really good. So that's a lottery pick. And then Milwaukee, yeah, they've got Giannis, but say Giannis misses 20, 30 games. That team's a dumpster fire without him. That might be the worst. That's a bottom 2 or 3 team in the East if he's not out on the court. So that pick has huge upside. Mm-hmm. That could be the number 1 pick next year that they just traded away for Derek to move up 10 spots to get Derek Queen, who I like, but I don't think he's worth that. That's why it was my least favorite pick.
I think that's a totally fair reason. It's probably the worst move of the offseason from that pick specifically.
So far, it definitely. Some people were calling it one of the worst moves besides the Luka Doncic trade, which that's another thing that we missed.
Yeah.
If we were in this, we would have been on. That was it. Was that on midnight, like on a Saturday?
I remember seeing just like, is Shams hacked? Is Shams
Yeah.
hacked? And I was at like my cousin's house or something, and I was like in the middle of the kitchen, like, what? And everyone's like, what is happening? And I'm like, this can't be real. And I'm like, Luka got traded, and people are like, who? And then the people who knew were like, what do you mean he got traded? And I was like, to the Lakers for AD, and they're like, no, he didn't. I'm like, I don't know if he did. I don't believe it. It makes no sense. It still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's just so many things. So many things wrong with just we could talk for 3 hours just about that. There's just so many things that have rattled around in my mind about that. But that's for another day.
Yes.
But some people were saying that besides that trade, this has been the worst one in like the last decade, which I might not go that far. I would have to look at some of the other deals that have been done, but it's pretty bad. Pretty bad for the Pels.
But man, I hope Derek Queen just becomes that guy. Like, I love a good pick. Talking about like not great fits. Like, I do agree. I don't think he's a great fit there.
Yeah.
Him and Fears will be fun to watch together when Zion's not playing. But I love Zion. Yeah. And we like that would have been like Maliwak. I don't hope I'm not saying his last name wrong, but
I think it's up for interpretation. Maliwak. I've heard it a bunch of different ways.
But I think that would have been like the move right there for them. Like, you just get a defensive rebounding center who's showing offensive touch in like combines and training. But they just want to hoop.
That's just a weird team. That's a really weird team. Jordan Poole now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
DeJounte
Looney. See, there's like, he'll probably start actually over Derek. And that's like better. That's a better fit for a Zion starting five.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the worst defensive team.
Well, Murray.
No, besides Herb Jones, who's awesome, and then Trey Murphy. Oh, I forgot DeJounte's still on there. He tore his Achilles.
Yeah,
he's going to be out till like next February. So,
which also goes towards their pick. Like, if he was healthy, it's like, all right, like they will be better with him on the floor for sure, but he's not. And you think Jordan Poole and Zion are going to.
Jordan Poole stinks.
Yeah.
Defensively. Zion's not a good defender.
Unless if it's a block shot, he ain't like.
Yeah. It's got to be like a highlight block every once in a while. And then if Derek Queen plays center, yeah, they have no rim protection. Both those guys are like. Derek Queen's like 6'9".
Mm-hmm. He's not super big.
Not a tall dude. Zion's a 6'6" power forward.
Gotta play the three, Zion.
Yeah, but then he don't shoot. Like, it's exactly. Like he's a weird. There's another guy. It's like, who's his comp? It's like Charles Barkley, but
yeah, just not as like athletically insane.
Yeah, people forget about Chuck though, man.
Chuck was athletic, but like Zion, like when his like highlight high school mixtape came out, it was like
no, yeah, he's not obviously not. Yeah. Zion's in a class with like 3 or 4 other guys ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, Chuck was a way better shooter though, better passer.
Yep.
And plays.
It's like if Vince Carter like grew a few inches and just kept eating a lot.
You know what? They might be the same size.
Height?
Not obviously not weight. Zion's 6'6". I think Vince was 6'5".
Yeah,
6'6", maybe.
That's.
Yeah, why don't I just?
Really 6'6"?
Why don't I just look it up?
Zion. I swear.
That's the beauty of having a computer. 6'6" is Vince Carter,
and Zion is. Survey says
6'6".
Fair enough.
They're the same. But yeah, Vince Carter would have to gain like 70 pounds plus.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's what New Orleans food does to you, man.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you saw the memes about when they drafted Derek Queen and they're like Zion somewhere happy as hell that they drafted Dairy Queen.
I saw that. I did see that.
God damn it. Give my boy a break.
Do you remember when Steven Smith said, I heard they say he eats the table? That was wild. What are we doing?
He's a problem. I used to love that man. I do not anymore. I used to look forward to waking up to First Take every day before school. Now it's just like I hate hearing. It's just like sports media as a whole. I feel like that level is. I just can't. I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's just become. It's just a hot take. Like, what can I say that's gonna get the most people to like react to it? We're all it's the reaction generation. How can we get people to interact and react?
He's making Skip Bayless not look that crazy.
And hey, they're doing a lot better than we are. So I don't know if
for sure.
I mean, maybe don't live stream it at 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Stephen A ain't. I'll tell you that. Stephen A's out partying at 10:30.
Yeah, and he'll let us know on like the private Stephen A show the next day on ESPN Plus, where he's talking about just absurd things. But back to the draft. There's one thing I also want to touch that was garnering headlines that the Portland Trailblazers. It was kind of cool being the center of attention for the first time in a long time with the Blazers, taking Mr. Young Handsome, some like to say. Young.
Young.
What do you think? Because, man, I've gotten myself bought in.
So what's funny is, I was listening to a podcast. It was a few days before the draft. It was Ryan Russillo. I don't know if you know Russillo. But they were talking because he went to the combine and he was talking with a draft expert. And they were like, who do you like? He goes, man, that guy Yang. He goes, Yang made this move on the baseline, spin move, dunked it, and won over like two dudes. He goes, there's just something about that guy, man. He doesn't even know English. Just when he wants the ball, he kind of goes, hey. But he's like, there's something about that guy. He's super raw, but there's something about that guy. And that was a few days before. That's the first thing I ever heard about him. Like, I didn't know who he was, what he looked like, anything. It was just like some guy named Yang.
Yeah.
And then Blazers take him. And then I see the highlights, and it's like, oh. What was the nickname that you said? The Big Tariff?
Yeah, one of my buddies. Yeah. He's like, what do you think about this nickname for your boy? I was like, that's crazy.
That's pretty wild. But, man, that dude's obviously really talented. He's just raw.
He's very young, very raw, like 7'2". We have two young 7-foot-plus centers.
Yeah.
They're like total opposites.
Completely opposite.
Like Yang's still very, very good defensively. Like that's what they have a similarity to.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like their offensive play, totally different.
How's Yang as wait, it's Yang though, right? Yang?
I think it's Yang.
Yeah. Yang. How's he as a shooter?
He has hit threes like in games. I'm in China, and there was just a video of him after the first practice. Just like the caption was like, no other dribbling can be seen, like no other players, just one guy shooting threes. And it was just him just hitting top of the key, just shooting. And they were like his motive or like his competitive fire. It's there. And like, I heard him talk about how he didn't start talking crap till he realized he was kind of good. And in some of those like clips, you see him going like this to people and like kind of clowning on him. So like, I'm so in, I think. Like, obviously, who knows? Like, it could be looked as one of the worst picks ever, like going ahead of time. But
yeah, but it's not like they moved back because they were at 11.
Got another first.
Yeah, what year was that from?
Memphis, or no, it's actually a Magic pick.
It was like 2030, 2029, 2028.
I think it may be 28. Yeah, a Magic pick. And obviously, like I'm thinking they're going to be good. I think next year. That's a hold up, but I think they're going to be good. But it's still a first to go back, however many spots to get a guy that we've been apparently scouting for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
One of our front office guys has met with him in China before.
Yeah.
Been doing, like, we brought him in for many workouts. And it just seems like they were like, this is our guy. Wherever we can get back the farthest is where we'll take him. And then I've heard there was chatter about like Memphis taking him like a few picks after. And a couple
Minnesota, right? Minnesota was talking about it.
Yeah. And like maybe they weren't going to take him with that pick, but if you want your guy, you go get it. And
just go get him.
He was in the rafters. They were like, "Yo, put your jacket on, like you're about to be like national TV
in the crowd."
Yep. And I've been reading a lot because I've been reading a lot of like going on like the Blazers Reddit and like thread pages on places, and there's a lot more just fans from China and a lot of like outlets from China saying like his like agent or like his camp back in China threw a huge party on day 1 of the draft, just in case. And but everywhere else had him as a second round guy. Yeah. And there had just been speculation, and they told him to come. His agent was like, it's probably a good idea for you to go to the draft tonight. Like, just go. And it seems like this has been a thing for a while. And like, I don't know, again, like talking about like player comp, like how can you not like a 7-foot center who can pass the ball, move like that, potentially shoot when you're seeing a player like Jokic dominate the league
right
now?
Yeah, there's the prototype. I mean, comparing him to one of the best players, probably top 15 player ever. That's little bold, just a little bold.
In terms of style of play, in terms of what the Blazers are creating over there right now, which is a whole nother conversation, but you have a defensive-minded unit, and then you go get a defensive guy who can play make. Like, that's a huge – with a bunch of guys who cut, Scoot, Shaden, Denny, who like are downhill guys.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be throwing lobs to Shea. Like it's gonna be an inverse for our team. Like it's gonna be one think, and then you're gonna see him with his head above the rim.
He's gonna be catching lobs from Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm in. I'm in. But I like at first I was shocked. I was like, oh, like Kasparis is there, and like there's so many guys that I really like that are here, and like I was like Sorber's there. Essengay, Derek Queen, even like I was like, they're here. Like we're gonna get a guy that I like. And I was like, I was in my recliner. Yeah. I even texted you. I was like, what do we think about the Blazers pick? And then you were like, coward. And I was like, oh,
well, it was the same thing. It was like, oh, I thought they got coward because ESPN doesn't show the trades just on their little ticker thing.
Yeah, I was like,
which I thought that was kind of cool too.
I thought that was a good pick for us.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, buddy, no, you don't even know.
No, young man.
Controversy we started.
No, I'm excited for him. I think it's going to be fun. At the very least, there's what you always want is some hope.
Yeah,
and we have surrounding that guy.
I think it's there. I think the Blazers will be a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be a physically demanding team to play. Our offense is going to look weird without Ant and Ayton, but we'll see. But yeah, that was a good draft day, in my opinion. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think. And then everybody's saying next year's draft is going to be probably better, which
is crazy.
We always say, oh, this draft, we get to it, and then it seems like, oh, the next draft, that one's going to be better. And then it's just every year.
Boozer and AJ as like the top 2 prospects. Are like,
and then what's the other guy? The Kansas kid, Darren Peterson.
Darren Peterson, who my 2K.
He ended up the number 1 guy in the ESPN rankings.
Really? He ended up jumping AJ. Wow.
Yeah, they faced off, and that dude had like 50 on him.
I got to watch him and Cam, and actually I didn't see AJ, but Cam and his brother and all those guys play at that Nike summit in Portland.
In Portland?
Yeah. And I was
that at Moda? Where's that at?
It was at Moda. Yeah, it was at Moda Center. And with me, Asim and Will were there. And I was like, yeah, we're going to be seeing these guys like in the league like in 2 years. Like these guys are so good.
How did Cam Boozer look?
He looked good. Like he looked like the big forward who can move well. Like his like what you read on about his description is exactly what we got. And I was like, it translates. Like you're physical, you can shoot the ball well, like you move well, you're long, like you're gonna fit.
Yeah,
with most teams.
Yeah, plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I'm excited for that draft. We talked a lot about basketball.
We did. I mean, so much has happened.
way more than we said that we would.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't even gotten a free agency yet.
No, we might even just have to save it potentially.
Yeah, we could pocket that and let's
shift gears.
I'll give you pick your own path. You want to go baseball or football?
Let's do a quick baseball stop and wrap up with some foosball.
Okay. Let's pull up these MLB standings, which I
mean, we had a breaking news moment. We had a breaking here. We had one of these like right before we press record. I was, just getting the setup, getting our color scheme right, getting our asteroid lit up background color as we were told. And I get walk off in the park home run on my phone. And Cole goes, "Wait, who did that?" I said, let me check. Oh, you're going to want to watch for yourself, actually. And there we
Giants. Go. Los Gigantes. Beat
Incredible.
The Phillies. Yeah. Patrick Bailey, the catcher, rumbling around the bases to beat Philadelphia. Hit it into right center field.
Which you love. You love that.
Oh, yeah. Triple alley. Right off. It was right off the top of, would have been cool if it was a homer. Everybody in Oracle, which by my accounts, besides Fenway and Wrigley, it's probably the best stadium in all of baseball. And off the bat from Bailey, everybody was up. And they're like, all right, we got this is something right here. And missed by this much, ricochets, goes all the way to left from right center. There's 40 Phillies chasing after it. Dudes are just scoring. We got Kruko on the call. And, man, electric. I'm glad you said that because I would have checked it after this and been like, oh, man, the Giants got a walk-off W. But, no, that was sick. Go Giants. The one thing I have in my background.
Go Pats. No, it's crazy. I mean, talk about backyard baseball. Like, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
In the park.
Inside the Parker, yeah.
Come on. To walk it off, that's what you dream about in kickball out at the playground. It's like, I'm getting there.
We're going.
Yep.
We're going to get it.
It
wasn't even close either. The throw was way off. It didn't even have a chance.
No.
I mean, it went 300 feet to the left. It bounced off the wall and just shot away from everybody. It was crazy. And I'm all for it.
Yeah, good. Go get the dub.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that'll be at the All-Star break. Some crazy headlines just in general going on. Big dumper taking some big dumps on baseballs all season.
Yeah.
Career high home runs before the All-Star break. Like, what are we on, man?
Yeah. And if people don't know who Big Dumper is, that's Cal Raleigh, the Mariners catcher. The stat that was crazy, and it was it was maybe 3 weeks ago, and they pop it up. It was on SportsCenter late. I was watching it with my dad, and Cal Raleigh hit his 27th home run, and it was most home runs by a catcher in the first half before the All-Star break. That's what it was. And he had tied the most ever, Johnny Bench, in 1975, who's considered one of the 2 or 3 best catchers of all time. Johnny Bench had 27 before the All-Star break. And Raleigh did that with a month to go. And he's had 8 since.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's at 34, 35.
Yeah.
Right
multiple multi-homer games.
Oh, yeah. This dude he's on a crazy pace. The Mariners are, how many games in are they? They are 91 games in. That is, we're 10 games over halfway. And he has 35 dongs.
Yeah.
That's some wild stuff. And what's even crazier is he might not even be the American League MVP favorite. He's not the favorite, but he's not even the front runner.
It's tough.
All rise. Aaron Judge is having
the Judge is in the same league as you.
Yeah, he's having the best season of his career, which we've seen him do it 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Gonna be one of the most underappreciated athletes just
in sports.
Especially in this era, definitely. But and I hate the Yankees.
I was about to, you could probably get I was about to say I would never give him any credit, but he's such a
but he's just good. He's good.
Cool,
he's from Fresno. He's a Fresno State guy. I just hate. There's only one other. There's one baseball team that I hate more, but yeah, that dude. That's a good guy.
And it's incredible.
They got a dude.
The huge market New York is how you feel like you see him on things, but you don't I don't know. I feel like he's just not that. Like you said, very underappreciated. Maybe
baseball in general just has not done great job in marketing their dudes. Like Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Mike Trout for a decade. Like, yeah, this dude is like goat pace.
Yeah.
And you don't ever see him. Like, not in any commercials. Like, I can't even, like, what baseball player, just even right now, like, who's in a commercial that you could just think of? Caitlin Clark's in, like, every commercial.
Yeah, like, Shohei is, like, almost doesn't count because he's just such, like, a
What commercials is even, what's he in?
He's been New Balance commercials.
Really?
I believe so, yeah.
The New Balance ones that come to mind for me was the one, they're all dribbling. It's Maxi.
I think he could be in that one, maybe.
No, I think it might have been all about. It's like Kawhi, Maxi, Murray, Cameron Brink, Cooper Flag.
Oh, maybe you're right. That is just a basketball one. I've seen him in a couple, but you are right. He's not in a ton.
Yeah, I can't even think of another guy who's even in a commercial, which that's wild. This is our national pastime, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Like, I would consider myself, and I told you this last night, I'm working on becoming a non-casual to baseball.
Yeah.
And like, I know my Red Sox, I would say I'm not a Red Sox casual, but yeah, I know my guy Mookie Betts over in the Dodgers, obviously, Shohei, like the big names, but like, you don't see him anywhere unless if you're at like a Dick's Sporting Goods and you're in like the baseball fleet section and you see him up on the wall. Like, not great. I remember one year they had like a Dairy Queen thing with Bryce Harper, Tatis, and somebody else, and all three of them got like hurt or had the worst year they had the next year or something, and they were like, maybe we shouldn't do it. Like, it's just a curse when we care.
No more blizzards. It's the blizzard curse for baseball. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
There's one.
That's a good one.
There's like half a summer of Ellie De La Cruz where he was like the biggest, hottest thing. Tatis was working his way up, and then it was PED suspension, injury. He's played like 7 different positions. He came in as a short. Speaking of, like, the Padres have like 7 shortstops that play in the field for him, which nice roster building, guys.
Yeah, very nice.
But yeah, I mean, no, you're right. It's hard to go 162 for 162 though. Baseball's just a long season, man. And it's hard. They got games every night. It's hard to be like, all right, I'm going to tune in and watch. I'm going to watch the Giants play every single night. You just can't do it. That's why I'm kind of like a standings warrior. Just kind of, all right, just got to pop in there like 2-3 times a week. All right, how we doing? 4-6 in our last 10. Let's pick it up or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. The only reason that I maybe would watch a good amount of Red Sox is I have like the free MLB TV, which gets like radio. So like when I'm driving and the game's on, I'll put it on. Or like the 10 a.m. game on the West Coast, I have like my lunch break at work, so I work in the morning. Pop it on for a half hour. But also that documentary that came out about the Red Sox, I haven't watched it all the way yet, but stuff like that is a good way to bring people in because my parents watched it and my mom was like just so bought in on the team. And like, I'm like sitting at the kitchen table eating and she was like, isn't Devers supposed to be up after Duran? Like, isn't that always the order? And I was like, yeah, damn, Mom. Yeah, they are. But the Orioles are batting right now. But yeah, no, you're right. That is correct. And she was like, oh, but like just getting people. Like, that's a way to sell your players. Like, teams have to do it themselves by doing like self-promotion of like documentaries. And
it's a lot more local promotion at the baseball level. Like NBA and NFL is a lot more national mainstream. Speaking of Devers, though, he's a giant.
Cool. Not cool.
Giant, yeah.
Not cool. Very sad. I see. I'm very sad he's gone. Like, if I was to buy a Red Sox jersey to start the year, it probably would have been a Devers jersey.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just more mad that I feel like we didn't get Jack back. Like, we didn't really get much.
Kyle Harrison's a good player.
Yeah, he was your 4th in your farm. Or sorry, not him. Harrison's the pitcher. We got your 4th in your farm.
Yeah.
Harrison, who throws gas. Like, I did watch him play. He pumps gas.
He's just good right now. And then prospect, like,
I just feel like
it's so hit and miss with those though.
It's true, but our 2 like biggest holes or just spots we need is like first base, and like you could always get pitching, and your first 2 prospects in your farm are a first baseman and a pitcher. Like, you're telling me you say no to get Devers and you throw in one of those guys. Like maybe you do, but
I think part of it not getting a bunch back is that the Giants just took all the contract.
It's huge money.
I think that was part of it. Like, all right, we're not giving you that much because we're going to pay this money, which is a lot. It's a good amount of money for a guy who I think is pretty good, who hasn't been great since he's come over, but
yeah, different side of the country, whole different place. He's been in the East Coast his whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he
baseball life? Sorry.
Is he Dominican?
Mm-hmm. He's been with us, I think, since 16 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just he's a Boston dude through and through.
I mean, I will miss watching him get up, big old lefty, so much chew in his mouth, like just copious amounts.
Yeah.
And just rip dingers. Like it was just great. Like it was just great. And Raffy's gone. And like the Garrett Cole killer, like that's like the best part.
Yankee killer, just Yankee killer overall. Yeah,
Garrett Cole and the Yankees are like super hyped that he's gone, and we beat them in the series like days prior to trading him.
Yeah,
and
he killed them in that series too.
Mm-hmm. That's just what he does.
You swept the Yankees.
That's what he does.
That is what he does. Is there anything else you want to hit baseball wise? I mean, we mentioned All-Star break. The All-Star teams just got announced a couple days ago. Oh, do you know? You're not looking at the standings right now, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who has the best record in baseball?
It's not. Let's see. I know it's not like a Dodgers or a Yankees pick because I know Yankees been losing. Dodgers ain't number one right now.
Nope.
Oh, for some, and I don't think this is the answer, but for some reason, like my head's saying maybe it's because of Phil and Avery, but it's saying Brewers. But I know it's not.
No, it's not a horrible guess. You got the right part of the country, wrong league. It's an AL Central team.
Throw it out there for me.
The Detroit Tigers.
Oh, baby.
59-34.
What is the Brewers record? I'm curious. I don't know.
52-40. They're second. So they're second.
Okay, that's pretty good, actually. I knew that they were playing well. I don't know why in my head I was like they are number one, but
they're a playoff team right now. But the Tigers, man, best record in base. You remember they've been bad since the Giants beat them in the World Series in 2012. Basically, they've been bad for a decade.
And here we are.
And they've got Tariq Skubal, Cy Young winner,
dog.
Yeah. Who else they got? They got the number one pick, Spencer Torkelson from like 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Javi Baez
coming back around.
He's an all-star. He's all-star starter.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy because he was butt for.
He was like this guy. They're like this guy forgot how to play baseball.
Because he was good before, and then literally
Cubs,
out, swinging at the worst pitches. Like his spray chart of swing and miss. Thing was just like so bad.
Yeah.
And here you are,
an all-star this year. And that's about all the Tigers that I can name off the top of my head.
We're in a world where the Pistons, Lions, and Tigers are playing ball.
Detroit's back. How good were the Red Wings?
I couldn't tell you.
Hockey, man. Got to get into hockey more.
I know. I need two more. I agree. It's a fun. I do know today the number one prospect committed to Penn State. Look like he's going to be the confirmed number one pick in the draft next year.
Where's he from? Is he Canadian?
Probably somewhere over there. I don't know if that is offensive to say to Canadians.
Somewhere over there. Saskatchewan.
I mean, this side of the country, hockey is not a thing. It just isn't. We have the winter hockey. It's just not as big.
Yeah. No.
It's not our fault that we live here. I mean, maybe it is, but.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But, yeah, that's my hockey and baseball for you right now. I'll make sure
we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about just hockey one day.
Yeah, that would be fascinating.
Just a full day of hockey, just trying to figure it out.
I mean, this will be the progression of me knowing baseball ball and then us getting down hockey ball knowledge, and we'll see our progression. We'll have to maybe pick a team to root for. The Kraken is just super fire.
I would go. Growing up, I remember the Coyotes, which they're now gone.
Yeah.
Because I loved their logo. And then San Jose Sharks.
Also awesome logo.
Yeah. Also very cool logo. You're right.
I was always checking in on the Bruins just because of like the Red Sox and Patriots. Yeah. And one of my cousins is a big Islanders fan, and I was like, well, I have a reason to like argue with you about this, so I'll just check on the Bruins. But like, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll figure it out. We can round it out here with some NFL.
Yeah, let's do it. Coming back in a big way, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. Someone at the work today, there's this guy I talked to at the gym about just like sports that like just walks in and out, and he's like, sooner than we expect, preseason ball is going to be here. And I'm just like, yes, it is.
Yeah, we're within the month. We've got the Hall of Fame game in end of July, right?
I think so. And then here we are. It's gridiron time.
Do you know who's in the Hall of Fame game?
I do not.
It's always like
Ravens Steelers again or something like that.
It's usually Raiders Bears or Cardinals. It's always some odd
Browns.
Yeah. I don't know. Whoever's in it, I'm glad you're going to be around with us in 3 weeks or so. But how about we talk about
Lions Chargers? Chargers.
Yeah. See, that's just kind of odd.
Yeah.
To me. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
How about we talk about the last big thing that happened? And what is this, like 3 days ago now? The Jonnu Smith trade.
Not the Rams.
What, is he not the biggest name in the deal?
I mean, he's going to be the biggest difference maker, clearly. Yeah, the Jonnu trade. Hey, he was a Patriot. I enjoyed his tenure with us.
Yeah.
But, Minkah Fitzpatrick getting traded is absurd, I feel like.
Yeah. For Jalen, it's just such an odd move, I feel like.
It's the Jamar Chase effect and the fact they need a tight end, I guess, when they have Darnell Washington, who's like 650, and
Freiermuth.
Those are like good tight ends. You have two good tight ends.
You think it's just because the Dolphins wanted to sign Darren Waller?
Maybe they're like, might as well get rid of him. And Darren Waller coming out of retirement from like concussions to go play with a guy who throws like hospital passes all the time is bold move.
Was it concussions? Was that what he said?
I thought he had like some concussion history, but it was also
everybody. I mean, in this sport, everybody does. But I thought it was the music career, man. It was taking off.
I guess it didn't.
No. There's that one song right after him and Kelsey Plum divorced. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. But it maybe. You tell me you can't have them both on the roster?
No, the biggest part was the Minkah for Jalen Ramsey, which
it's the Jamar Chase effect,
I guess.
Like Minkah's like great to stop him. Also, I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing about Ramsey, he's not even a lockdown corner right now. He's more, we can put him in any spot in the secondary. That's what he's been for the last. Since the Jacksonville days, he's just been. We put him in the slot. We can put him at corner. He can play a little nickel. Like, he's not just your one. He's not your Darrelle Revis Island.
He's not going to follow Jamar.
No, he's not. And he's. I mean, I don't know how old. It feels like he's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably 30, I think.
He is exactly 30.
Yeah. And Minkah's what? Probably the same.
I feel like he's got to be younger. I feel like he's 28. Yeah, he's younger.
Yeah. And Minkah's just been a huge part of their defense. Just a big play guy. So,
and they also have Joey Porter Jr. too. Isn't that, or do I have that mixed up with something?
No, you got that's correct.
He's good. You have Darius Slay also.
Oh, I forgot he was there. Yeah, they're putting together the retirement home.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of other safeties, they have Juan Thornhill, Deshaun Elliott,
a good dude.
Like Castro, Kilbrew, John. But in terms of Minkah, I don't know.
And they must really love their depth at that position just to think they can replicate it. So maybe, yeah, I mean, let's probably give Mike Tomlin the benefit of the doubt on that one. And I just feel like it's kind of lateral.
Well, they'll be just 500 again with Aaron Rodgers, and they'll be 9-8.
Yeah, they're gonna win 9 games. You book that. They're winning 9 games.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's a brutal division, though.
And they still do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it every year because they take a game from the Ravens every year.
Mm-hmm.
They will beat the Ravens this year, and everybody's be like, "Oh, They do it every year.
Yep.
They're gonna beat them like 16-13 because Chris Boswell's might be the best kicker in the NFL, and they're just gonna do it. And TJ Watt's gonna have a strip sack touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be like a
defensive
touchdown in the game.
And Ramsey will get like a punch out strip to win the game.
Yeah,
like,
on Lamar.
see, that was the one. Like, all right.
It's like that's why they did it. It's like, well, Minka was doing. I mean, that didn't make them a Super Bowl favorite for me.
No,
no,
not at all.
The Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins got their guy back. Remember who? Brian Flores was the coach, and he was a defensive guy.
Yeah, came from the
Patriots. They took Minka, and everybody's like, "Oh, great pick!" And then he was good. And then they're like, "You know what? Pittsburgh, go learn steel, buddy." And that one was strange, but they got him back finally.
Yeah. Good for them. I mean, great player. 28, you get a younger player who's probably better.
Yeah. Also, he's an injured guy, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the game also, kind of the concussion thing. Like, any moment your leg could go. Like, you get rolled up on wrong one time. You get speared. It's just, not your fault.
It's true.
Now, if you're like a guy who always just has ankle issues and stuff like that, then it's a little different. But yeah, I can't wait for the season. Should we talk about our little last place to playoff?
Yeah,
last place to playoff, guys. All right. Well, we're going to take a look, starting with the NFC. Let's pick one from each that we think would be the team.
Yeah, I like it.
I have mine written down. Let's have you take the NFC first.
Okay. So just a little background on this. It's every year there's one team in the NFL that goes from last place in their division the year before to making the playoffs or winning their division, I believe. Yeah, going from last place to winning it. That's happened I think 8 years in a row or something like that. And so we're going to pick who we think the most likely is in each of these conferences. And
are we going to win the division or just make the playoffs?
We can go.
Or both even. Maybe.
Let's go win the division.
Okay.
The most likely of these
certainly changes.
It changes for you. How about this? How about we do both?
Okay.
We'll go most likely to make the playoffs. Because I think it's the same for me.
Okay.
Either way. But so I'm going to tell you that it will be the San Francisco 49ers. And no bias at all. But that's a team that was injured as hell, just like they are every other year. In kind of a weak division. I mean, all the teams in there are solid, but there's no world beaters in there. And they get their guys back. And I think that's just a team that, we look at the other last placers.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints stink.
Yeah.
Saints might be the worst team in football. They're not doing it. It's not going to be them. The New York Giants, I think they improved, but that division is brutal. They're still the worst. I think they're still the worst team in that division. And if they have a great year, then they might be better than the Cowboys, but they're not better than Philadelphia or Washington. And then I think the next closest would be Chicago, but they're not winning the division.
No.
For them, it would be maybe making the playoffs. Chicago.
All 4 teams making the playoffs?
They could. That division's good, but that's the thing. One of these teams has to be the worst in that division, and I think it's either them. I mean, the Vikings starting JJ.
Yeah, quite big question right there.
I just don't think the Bears win the division over Detroit or Green Bay. I don't think they do it. That's why, for me, it's my 49ers. So how about you?
I agree. For division, for sure, the Niners. Like, I don't see any of those other three teams winning the division. My pick for playoff would have been like hot take. All four teams in the NFC North make the playoffs would have been my just playoff pick.
Yeah, which definitely possible.
And I wasn't like, I was like, I'll pick them, not the Niners, because Cole I know is going to take his boys. And you're right. Like, it's just the correct pick also. Yeah. Like, you're looking at the roster. Division, I mean, look, it's always a bloodbath. The NFC West doesn't matter how good those teams are. They're all splitting each other. Like, it goes 1-1 all around all the time.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how good the Seahawks were when they were on their run, Niners always stole one. And doesn't matter how good this Niners teams are. It seems like the Seahawks will steal one also. Like, it's just kind of the division. I think they went 2-0 last year maybe and lost both. But I think the Niners, they're just too injury riddled last year. I think that's the easiest pick out of the two conferences, I think.
I agree with you. That would be, if I had to bet on it, that would be the team that I would put the money on.
Definitely. Any team that we think could go from first to worst? Random pop quiz question.
Oh yeah, let's let me look at that quickly. First to worst. I think most likely to do it would be.
It's hard because these are good teams.
And here's my thought process. Not going to be the Lions or the Eagles.
No,
they're too talented, too deep. My head went to the Buccaneers, but I think they're just solid,
and
they're not going to be worse than the Saints.
No
matter what, and probably not the Panthers either. So I think it's the Rams.
I agree. I again agree. Yeah.
And I think they're a very solid team too, but they're one Matthew Stafford injury away, who's like 38, 39, by the way.
From Stetson Bennett.
From being the dumpster fire.
Like 2 years younger than Stafford.
Yeah, so I think that would be the most likely possibility, even though I think the Rams are tough.
I agree. I just find it more likely that the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Niners can have a better record than the Rams compared to the Saints, Panthers, Falcons, all having a better record than the Buccaneers.
Right. Yeah, you just got to play. It's the divisions, man. The South is weak, and the South has always been weak.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to factor those things in.
Yep. I agree. Well, let's take it on over to the AFC side of things. How about I start this time?
Yeah, you start this time.
I think it's going to be very similar. This was originally as my pick to go from last place to make the playoffs. I do non-biased pick. I
knew you were going. Yeah,
I really do think we're going to be a wild card team and make the playoffs this year. I actually think it's going to happen. I think May's the guy. I know he's not the same player, but Diggs, we finally got the receiver one that we've been looking for. And our defense, I think, is going to be really good this year. Beating the Bills for the division, that's a big stretch. They're a good team. I don't know if I could say that. I hate the Bills, but you can't really count them out yet after you look at the record on screen right there. I mean, we have inverse records. We were terrible last year. But I do think that we will be better than Miami and the Jets. I think that is my thing. I think that we can win enough and make it in. In terms of team winning the division from last place, this is tough. The AFC is tough.
I still think it's you guys with the best shot. And honestly, just because the AFC South is so bad.
Yeah,
the Titans stink too. They're really bad too. So I think you guys have the best shot at it.
I agree. I could see us winning 10 games and then Allen goes down with an ankle because he just runs backyard football. He just goes crazy. Maybe gets hurt and we steal one. And we just happen to be 12-5 or not. I don't know about 12-5, but we just sneak it and they just have a couple worse games. I don't see the Dolphins being great and the Jets are going to Jets all the time and not be good. I agree. I think that out of all the teams, because the Browns are not beating out the Bengals, Steelers, or Ravens, the AFC South just doesn't count. And then it's almost
no. And then this is what I was going to say.
Is the Raiders the second pick out of all of them? Probably is what I would think.
If we put the Raiders in the South, that would definitely be my pick because they got way better.
significantly better.
That's the best division in football. That's the only problem. And you have the Chiefs. So that's why it's not going to be them.
Yep.
But
like
they got a lot better.
They could be like the best team that was in last place besides like the Niners and like the Patriots as well.
The Patriots. Yeah, I just think the Patriots, their division a lot worse than the West. But the Raiders, I mean, it's just a gauntlet. Like the Broncos made the playoffs. The Chargers made the playoffs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. Raiders got Pete Carroll.
And all those teams got better too, I think.
You think the Chiefs got better?
I
don't know if they got better, but they didn't they didn't get worse. They didn't get worse.
The Chiefs, right. They didn't get better. They'll just say they're the Chiefs. And then
you think the Chargers got better? What did the Chargers do?
They let's see. They drafted. I feel like they drafted pretty well this year.
Why am I blanking on who they took in the first round? They took the Hampton, the running back from North Carolina.
Yes.
I think he's good.
Joey Bosa's gone. He is now a Bill.
He's a Bill. Yep.
Which is could be negative, however you look at it. Let's see. Mekhi Becton was someone they brought in.
Oh yeah, Mekhi Becton. Yeah.
Mekhi. Andre Drames, another lineman. Trey Lance came on down.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Tony Jefferson, Tyler Conklin.
Tony Jefferson still in the league?
Tony Jefferson.
I know.
Yeah. He signed with them in March. More likely a depth piece. Tyler Conklin.
Yeah.
Deshaun Phillips. Mr. Taylor Heineke got re-signed. Deshaun Hand.
Wait, they have Trey Lance and Taylor Heineke?
Yeah.
All right.
Naquan Jones. Welcome back, Mike Williams.
Yep, I remember that one.
Oh, Najee Harris.
Oh yeah, the great Najee Harris.
As well as Dante Jackson. I do think he'll be better in LA than he was in Pittsburgh. I think Jim Harbaugh is just going to make running the ball there.
I think he's a 6 straight 5 straight years 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
And he's been a disappointment.
Yeah.
But that's just how we think of the running back position now. It's like if you told somebody 20 years ago, oh yeah, this guy's been a 1,000-yard rusher 5 straight years, you'd be like, oh my God, is he a top 5 running back?
Nope.
And that's just not how we look at the position anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's very running back has changed a ton. It's very fascinating. In terms of their draft, they took Hampton in the first. They took Trey Harris from University of Mississippi in the second round, Ole Miss wide receiver, 6'2", 205. Jameer Caldwell, that D tackle from Oregon.
Yes.
Dog for us, actually. Kyle Kenner, they took an edge piece, another wide receiver from Auburn, a tight end from Syracuse, offensive lineman. It's just a safety, just very Jim Harbaugh draft.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. So I think if they didn't get better, then they at least stayed the same, and that's still a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos going to be right. Yeah, that's the best division in football, I think.
Yep.
So I think the Patriots pick is the right pick. Yeah, I think Patriots
really change actually. Yeah, Patriots Niners.
Patriots Niners, and that's just a complete coincidence.
Yeah, it is. It is super funny to think about, but we're on the up next year, baby.
You guys are going to be solid. I mean, the coaching improvement alone is exponential.
It's crazy. I saw a picture today, and it was was this the lowest point in our franchise history? And it was Mac Jones leaning over on the bench, looking at the iPad. Bailey Zappi looking flustered with Matt Patricia with his pencils in his ear, off. I'm just like, oh god, Matt Patricia's the OC. And
by the way, that wasn't the lowest point in. No. The Patriots, the 70s, for 40 years,
the 70s, 80s, and 90s were just
garbage. Yeah, but that was pretty low. I'll give you
in
that.
terms of recent history and the high that we were.
Oh yeah, after 25 years of the best, dynasty. Yeah, no, it's a change of pace for sure.
It was, I mean, like it was. I was so sad to see Tom leave, but the Cam Newton year, like that was kind of fun. It was kind of weird.
It was fun for
Cam Newton year.
It was fun for a few games.
I thought he was back when he threw 300 yards against the Seahawks. I was
that game was a fun game.
What did Bill do? Like, how does he do this to people?
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, he reinvigorated Cam, and
but then he hurt his shoulder again and got COVID, and then it was like that.
Then it was over. Yeah,
but it was interesting to see someone run in the pocket. That was cool.
I know it was definitely a change of pace.
Like running quarterback power, like we spammed that against the Seahawks.
Yeah,
like so much.
Yeah, he was chucking the ball around. No, it was fun for like 4 weeks, and then we came back to earth. And but yeah,
Patriots we're on the come up, baby. Both of us. It'll be an interesting year for our boys.
Yeah, I really hope so. I've had a lot of too many close calls in my life.
Yeah, some Super Bowls that are just
couple sad Sundays.
Though there's some good stuff ahead still. You're still in that window, probably.
Just hoping the window didn't close. You know what I'm saying?
It's at least cracked if it ain't.
Yeah. Yep. Your window's opening. That window, you're trying to pry that thing open. Yeah.
When you get your franchise quarterback, that's when it opens. Yeah. And I think he's the guy. He's the guy.
No, I think he's legit. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And he's like kind of like a Josh Allen type, which is so fun to watch.
Yep.
He's just a little smaller. Just a little smaller.
Yeah. Not as much width on him.
Shout out the Mays. Shout out UNC, Luke May.
Luke May, man.
Good getter. But yeah. That's ball. Can't wait. Right around the corner.
Dude, it's coming up.
And we just hit our 90-minute mark, and it might be
I think it's about time. I've been yawning a little bit.
Just to tell the people, we were planning on keeping this at about 45 minutes.
I put about 40 on the thing.
And this is exactly how we expected it to go.
Yeah. I mean, we did like 50 on the NBA alone.
Yeah, we did.
That's just how it goes, man. We're just chopping it up. We're talking about sports.
We're working on it, baby. I mean, listen, This is a whole new era. This is my apologies.
Yeah, let's show that one more time.
No, this is Beyond the Basement.
Yeah, this ain't the basement no more, man.
We have left and things have changed, and who knows? Our backgrounds could change. Maybe we'll be doing an in-person one again. Maybe the golf video will get finished. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
And
doing a lot of golf. I mean, yeah.
Maybe we'll make another one. Like maybe we'll go on the go. I have a trip to Dallas planned where I might be going to a Cowboys-Browns game.
That sounds disgusting.
Right? Like you got I got to get some video for us for that. Like that would be incredible.
That would be sick.
We're beyond the basement. Like anything in
beyond it.
And we're streaming on YouTube at 11:37 at night. And
yeah,
we had a visitor.
Watches it. Yeah. We did have a visitor. Shout out Big Dre.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Love Big Dre.
Miss that fool. But
me too.
I'm just glad to be back, Cole. Just glad to be back.
Dude, me too. Really can't believe we finally did it. We did it.
And this was fun. I mean, we can do this for hours, as we know, and we literally almost did.
Yeah.
So we don't have a set schedule yet for things, but this is up. I mean, it is up. It's in the ether already.
It is.
We will repost and put it out. Maybe. Well, you guys will find out tomorrow. We'll find out.
Come on back tomorrow.
Cole, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely,
can't believe we're here. And to a great rest of our summer and future recordings and live stream sessions.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Well, gentlemen, do you have any lasting remarks for us today, Cole, as we head on out?
That one just popped into my mind, and the only thing I can think of is, I mean, let's go Gigantes. Shout out
in the park, home run, fun baseball, baby.
Patrick Bailey, man.
We're out of here. Peace.